Welcome back to Cryptopia, where we go over the wet and wild happening in NFT land. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way in. Today, I want to go over some of the things you can do with your NFTs currently. Just some places that you can basically loan them out, loan or borrow, and get some extra walking around money that you otherwise could not do with such an illiquid asset such as NFTs. But with this, you can get some liquidity and invest in some other stuff, some other crypto, whatever plans you have. Put in a stable coin. There's ones on here where you can put it into a stable coin and then stake said stable coin and make some passive income off of your NFT while it's just chilling there. And you still have the technically the original amount that you got, and you can basically just pay that off with it, right? So, but before that, we're just going to take a quick look at kind of the current market and what's going on, like just a brief what I'm seeing kind of thing, because this is what's been kind of going on, right? You've seen, well, first of all, most markets are complete garbage right now. Like the stocks are down, derivatives, whatever, like crypto's down, housing is down, everything's fucking shit right now, right? Nothing's necessarily a good buy. It's sort of just, the what do you see appreciating over time to buy, but everything is gonna sort of put you in a negative position right now. Obviously, there's going to be some outliers here and there, some coins, some stocks, things will pump up and people will make money off of those. But for the most part, everyone and every investor currently has been, has lost money. I think the only person who hasn't really lost much money is Warren Buffett. And that guy I think he sold most of his stuff anyways. So, he's in profit in that area, but now he's holding cash, which is being eaten away by inflation. So he's still down. He's just not as down compared to everybody else. But anyways, so man who paid $2.9 million for NFT of Jack Dorsey's first tweet set to lose almost $2.9 million. So you remember this happened early on in, I was about to say in YouTube, early on in the NFT craze. You know what I mean? That Jack Dorsey's first tweets was sold off for a whopping $2.9 million. And then what happened is this guy tried to sell it later on, offering it for $48 million. And, the highest bid at the time I think he got was like $200 and something. Then he took it down, put it back up. I was able to get like $6,800 out of it. Or at least that was the offer. He didn't take the offer, stating that he felt that the NFT was a special NFT and needed to be given a right home. The right home just happens to be a guy who has $48 million. So he's reconsidering whether or not he's actually going to sell the NFT at all. I mean, at that point, you paid $2.9 million. You might as well just keep it. Fuck it. Like, honestly. But that's kind of how things are going right now. A lot of the market, you're starting to see that a lot of these projects are starting to sort of crash and burn, not just the scams and the rug pulls, but even the, so-called legitimate projects that did attempt to try and do something are sort of not able to keep up with what they said they were going to do. They can't keep up with the demand of the people who invested into them, and they just don't have the right experience to get it done. And you're seeing a lot of NFTs are basically being sold off, abandoned, or whatnot happening throughout the NFT market. And this was sort of already going to happen. I've talked about this a lot on this channel that 98% of these NFTs are going to fail, and you're starting to kind of see the failures happening. But that 2% is starting to, like, you're seeing the gap widen between those that are complete shit, just kind of falling to the floor, and then those who are the cream of the crop, the Azukis, the Bored Apes, the crypto punks of the world, rising really, really high and sort of becoming, what was destined to happen anyways. The cream of the crop is going to rise, and then the stuff's going to fall. The problem is there's a lot of shitty stuff out there that's going to fall. Which is why I always say collect cool looking art pieces. That's what I like a lot about NFTs. I like to collect really cool looking pieces that do stuff. I talk a lot about utility on this channel because that's interesting to me rather than just talking about PFP projects. But what can an NFT do, what they plan on doing, and how they plan to execute that is always interesting for me to watch. Just sort of seeing new investments and new projects taking hold and seeing how they're able to actually accomplish this. Fully on knowing that most of them probably won't be able to. So moving on to kind of the the main point. I'm not really here to talk about articles and news this week because the only articles I have up here right now are pretty much just about this. The market isn't really doing too well. You know, weekly sales plunge more than 50%. And, you know, this was inevitable. It was always an overbought market. You know, most of these are just like, it's not that they're JPEGs because that's art. It's like they're not really worth the amount of money that people are investing into them. AKA Jack Dorsey's tweet is not worth $48 million. And people are looking at it being like, hey, is this really worth that much money? But you never know. Maybe in the future it will be, right? Currently, right now, you know, Jack Dorsey's still around. But, you know, in the future, he passes away and say his, you know, what Jack Dorsey has, you know, what he's trying to do for the crypto world explodes and everybody knows his name. Now that thing is worth a whopping 48 million easily. So you're looking at, like, most of the, like I said before, most of the markets aren't doing too well either. And so it shouldn't be no surprise that the speculative markets, as such a niche speculative market such as NFTs, are not doing fantastic. So, you know what I mean? They could ramp up as things get better overall for everybody else. But obviously, this is not the market where everyone's looking to jump in and spend their money, especially when they don't know where anything is going. Right? Prices of food, prices of gas, everything's rising. So throwing your money into a picture may not be the best thing. You know what I mean? People probably, I haven't looked at the art market, but people probably aren't, like the average Joe Schmo isn't probably deep diving into Banksy pieces, right? Like, just makes sense that like maybe I wouldn't buy this piece, even though Banksy is a way safer bet than probably most of the NFTs. You're probably not looking to just jump into the art market right now, unless you really know what you're doing and you see an opportunity there. So looking over here, so NFT Fi or NFT Fi, pretty sure it's NFT Fi, is one of the 4 places that I'm going to kind of highlight here. Don't worry, I'll put everything in the description down below, a link to this so you guys can come and explore these yourself. I recommend, you know, taking a look at each one of them if you are actually considering lending or borrowing your NFTs in order to gain some sort of loans or make some extra cash flow, right? So you can loan out your NFTs and get some cash flow, or, you know, you can give out some cash flow and hang on to someone's NFT. Whatever the floor price of that collection is kind of gonna set the amount that the person's gonna be able to offer, or how much you're, you know. So if you have a really expensive version of your NFT, but the floor itself on the lower end isn't really that high, then, you know, it stands for the people to kind of get that if you default on your payments at a discount, right? So that's sort of the risk that you're taking there, obviously. But, you know, if you're smart with your money and you know you can pay this off, you can take this, or you have a plan to reinvest it, like I said, into a stable coin, you can do that. So that's pretty much what this is. So check out NFT Fi. Kind of trying to think of any of the specifics on here. NFT Fi takes about 5%. And then I think, you know, the interest on that is like a 9%, 9.6 something percent annual pay rate, something like that, whatever it was called. So, you know, so obviously do your research and see if that's something that vibes with what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish there. And there's also Arcade, put your NFT to work. Again, similarly to the previous one we just looked at, you can borrow, you can loan, and yeah. Now, most of these all operate in the smart contract, not smart contract. I mean, they are DeFi. Yeah, it's just supposed to be. They work in the smart contract idea, which, you know, it's peer to peer, right? They themselves don't have any real like, what's the word I'm looking for? Aside from the, you know, supplying the contract itself, they don't really have much connection to this. They don't really have much stake in the game. So they're just here as a middleman making some money on the side. It's really between you and the other person. But obviously, they're both going to be locked into the contract. You just need to adhere to what you need to do. So this one's like, what are the fees? Borrowers pay a flat 2%. Oh, there was something about this one that I wanted to say. So you do have to pay gas fees. They mentioned it specifically here about the gas fees that you do have to pay on NFT Fi, but both the loaner and the borrower have to pay some gas fees. I believe the lender pays less gas fees, and it's like there's like a one-time fee of kind of setting everything up, one-time gas fee, and then after that you should be okay to like loan out your money further on. And then there's one other thing that I can't remember at the moment, but the borrowers do have to pay tons of gas fees. So that's gas fees on top of getting the loan, paying back the loan. So there's a lot of gas fees too if you are a borrower. So be careful about that, because on top of that you have to pay the interest. So you know what I mean, you gotta make sure it's really, really worth it to take that extra cash flow out of it. I mean, the same thing with Arcade. I don't think Arcade's really any different. Borrowers pay a flat 2% of principal on every loan originated at the time of origination. So that's kind of the thing. And down here they do say, this is all at your own risk, of course. So just be careful, do your research into this. I'm just kind of trying to bring these to light that, hey, there's something else you can do with your crypto. Now again, they offer either ETH or wrapped ETH for most of them. I can't remember if it's this one or this one that offers DAI as well, but I mean, you can look into those as well. I like this one probably the best. Again, I haven't looked too much into these, just sort of a surface look at potential opportunities for your NFTs. This one seems to have more like lending pools. So while the other two are essentially just like ERC20s or ERC 721, you can, I can't be for certain here, but this might be an opportunity for maybe even a Solana NFT if you have, because the other ones are specifically Ethereum. So you might be able to get better options here, or maybe even then, even if it is just Ethereum or NFTs that you have, it widens the range of opportunity that you have to get some loans. The other ones are very specific. This one kind of opens it up a little bit wider, so you can get that. They obviously want blue chips. You can't just throw in any random NFT you have. Doesn't matter even if there is a price still on that NFT. They're looking to obviously have the blue chip stuff because that's what their lenders want, right? They want to be able to make sure that, hey, I'm getting a good price on a blue chip NFT that should I not get my money back, I'm getting a good price on this NFT, and then I can sell this and get my money back or hold on to it for future gains. So this place gives you instantly, this is drops, by the way, instantly borrow up to 30% of the NFT's collateral value. Takes about like 24 hours. You're pretty much approved right away. As long as you have the NFT, they verify it via the blockchain, boom, wham, bam, Sam, you're good to go. Right? You can, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this, you can offer your own, right? You can supply money in exchange for NFTs, and you can supply NFTs in exchange for money. Oh, this is the place that has a DOP token, a native token, and they talk about it here where you could, there you go, yeah, earn DOP by obtaining a loan and stake your stable coins at yield farms to make your own NFT go burr. So you can get their native token, and then again, like I was saying before, get the interest off of that and then pay them back. And then, pay off a little bit of interest on that. You still hold the actual amount that you bought from them in the first place or got from them in the first place. And then, you get some side income from that, a little bit of cashola, a little bit of dodu, which I think is a great idea, because now your NFT is actually, put to work for you, as opposed to where most of my NFTs are sort of just sitting in my wallet doing nothing. So I think that's probably the best route to go, is to get into some kind of stable coin and then just stake that stable coin and make some interest off of that. I think that's the best thing you can do, especially if you own a really juicy blue chip NFT. And lastly, we've got Nexo. So Nexo gives you up to 20% instantly, while the last one we just watched, Drops, gives you 30% instantly. And Nexo only does Basie and CryptoPunks. I did not see anywhere else that they offer more. They might offer other ones, but I didn't see that. So I mean, so if you have a Base or a CryptoPunks, this is the final one to select. But obviously, this one also takes CryptoPunks and Base and offers you a lot more. I mean, you can get their native token on that, and they got some partnerships, I believe, down here that they mentioned. So you can take a look at their partnerships and see how working with them has worked out. Check out these particular companies and see how these guys are and what they do and how they're doing it. But I like this one. This one's particularly my favorite just because I feel like there's more options hidden within here, and just the idea. I mean, you don't have to use their DOP stablecoin, but any stablecoin, and just do kind of like they basically just give you the answer right here. You know what I mean? Just do this. You're better off than like taking that money and then using it to like make a bigger bet on like Shiba Inu or like Dogecoin or something like that. It's like, nope, just do this. It's quick, stable. It's not quick, but it's stable money. You're going to get a specific amount back. You can calculate that amount back, and then you can, again, easy side money for your NFT. So I think this one is the best bet. I'll link to this one as well in the description if you want to take a look at it too. But I highly recommend taking a look at this one. I have not done any of these, nor am I sponsored by any of these guys, obviously. And my stuff just sits in my wallet right now. I mean, I don't have any of the NFTs that they are looking for. So, but if you do and you're sitting on it, might as well check these out. Make use of your NFT because you don't want it sitting there collecting dust, watching the market crumble. Just get some money and see what you can do. See how you can make some passive income along the way. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you were able to get some knowledge out of it that you otherwise may not have been thinking about. Check these out, and I will see you guys next time.